Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're tired. Nobody cares that it's hard. Nobody cares about your excuses. And you know what? That's actually the best thing that could ever happen to you. Because when you finally understand that no one is coming to save you, you take full responsibility for your life. Most people spend years waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for motivation to strike. But the truth is, life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't show up at your doorstep just because you want it. You have to get up, put in the effort, and earn it. No one is going to build your dreams for you. No one is going to do the work on your behalf. No one will push you when things get tough. That's your job. And the sooner you accept this, the sooner you start making real progress. I know that sounds harsh, but I'm telling you this because I care. I care enough to tell you the truth. The people who win in life are the ones who stop waiting and start taking action. They don't rely on handouts. They don't blame others. They don't waste time wishing things were different. They get up every day and do the work even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Stop looking for validation. You don't need people to cheer you on to get things done. You don't need permission to go after your dreams. The only approval you need is your own. Too many people waste time worrying about what others think, whether they're doing enough, whether they look successful, whether they're impressing anyone. But let me tell you something. None of that matters. What matters is that you show up for yourself. What matters is that you put in the effort even when no one else sees it, because your work will always speak louder than your words. You can talk about what you want all day long. You can make plans. You can set goals. But if you're not putting in the effort, none of it means anything. Your results will tell the real story. Your actions will determine where you go. So instead of spending time complaining or making excuses, ask yourself, what am I actually doing? Am I moving forward or am I standing still? And don't get me wrong, this isn't about working 24/7. This isn't about burning yourself out just for the sake of saying you're working hard. No, this is about focus. This is about putting your energy into what actually matters. You don't need to do 100 things at once. You don't need to chase every opportunity. You need to decide what's important and give it everything you've got. Because when you focus, when you cut out distractions, when you commit to mastering your craft, that's when you see results. Now, let's talk about discomfort. Because if you want to succeed, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to challenge you. If you're not struggling, you're not growing. The people who reach the top, they're the ones who push through even when it's hard. They don't quit when things get tough. They don't back down because they're tired. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to get better, stronger, and smarter. And listen, motivation isn't the answer. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. If you rely on motivation, you'll never be consistent. The real secret is discipline. Discipline is what gets you up in the morning when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you going when you're exhausted. Discipline is what separates the successful from the ones who give up. You don't have to feel like working hard. You just have to do it. You don't have to wait until you're in the mood. You just have to commit. At the end of the day, your life is your responsibility. No one is going to do this for you. No one is going to care as much as you do. And that's exactly why you need to stop waiting for someone else to push you and start pushing yourself. You are the only one who can change your life. You are the only one who can make things happen. The moment you stop expecting others to care, you take back your power. And here's the irony. When you put in the work, when you focus on yourself, when you grind in silence, suddenly people start paying attention. Suddenly they start wondering how you did it. suddenly they care, but by then it won't even matter to you because you'll have already built yourself into someone who doesn't need external validation. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep waiting for someone to give you a break? Are you going to keep looking for approval? Or are you going to step up, work hard, and focus on you? Because the truth is, nobody cares until you give them a reason to. Now go make it happen. Stop seeking validation. You don't need it. You don't need people to approve of what you're doing. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're on the right track. You don't need applause, permission, or a round of encouragement before you take action. Too many people waste their lives waiting for someone to tell them, yes, you're good enough. Yes, you should go for it. But the truth is, no one is coming to do that for you. And even if they did, what difference would it make? If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't take the steps necessary to move forward, then all the validation in the world won't get you anywhere. That's the trap people fall into. They think if they just get enough approval, then they'll finally feel ready. But readiness doesn't come from outside validation. Readiness comes from action. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how people who constantly seek validation never seem fully satisfied? That's because they're looking for something external to fix what can only be built internally. Confidence isn't given, it's earned. It's built through experience. It's built through showing up, putting in the work, failing, learning, and growing. Confidence comes from knowing that you don't need anyone else's opinion to define your worth. But we live in a world where external validation is everywhere. Social media has trained us to crave it, to chase likes, comments, and approval from people who don't even matter in the grand scheme of things. And that's dangerous because it distracts you from what truly matters: the work, your growth, your progress, your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. The most successful people in the world don't waste time worrying about whether others approve of them. They are too busy improving themselves. They don't post about their plans, they execute them. They don't wait for people to believe in them, they believe in themselves first. They don't beg for attention, they demand respect through their results. And that's what you need to do. Stop looking around hoping for someone to validate your dreams. Stop waiting for encouragement before you start moving. Stop seeking approval before you believe in yourself. If you have an idea, go after it. If you have a goal, start working toward it. If you want to change your life, take action now without asking anyone if it's the right thing to do. Do you know what happens when you stop seeking validation? You get your power back. Because when you rely on external validation, you're putting your confidence in the hands of other people. You're saying, I will only feel good about myself if they approve of me. That's a dangerous place to be. Because the moment they stop clapping, the moment they don't respond the way you hoped, your confidence crashes. That's why you have to take back control. Your confidence should come from within, from the fact that you are showing up every day, from the fact that you are doing the work, from the fact that you are pushing yourself even when no one is watching. And let's be real, most people don't even care about your success as much as you think they do. Everyone is focused on themselves. Everyone has their own problems, their own struggles, their own goals. So stop worrying about what they think. Stop letting their opinions control your actions. You don't need their approval. What you need is discipline. What you need is consistency. What you need is to show up every single day and put in the work. And here's the best part. When you stop seeking validation and start focusing on yourself, that's when real success happens. That's when you build something meaningful. That's when you develop true confidence. Not the kind of confidence that comes from getting a bunch of likes on a post, but the kind that comes from knowing deep down that you are becoming the person you were meant to be. Because at the end of the day, the only person who needs to believe in you is you. Your dreams are valid because you decide they are. Your goals matter because you are willing to put in the work. Your success is inevitable if you commit to it, with or without an audience. So stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough. Stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. Stop relying on other people's opinions to determine your worth. Decide today that you are enough, that your dreams are valid, and that you don't need a single ounce of validation to go after them. Because the moment you do that, the moment you stop caring about what others think and start focusing on what you think, everything changes. Your work speaks louder than your complaints. You can talk about how unfair life is, how hard things have been, how you didn't get the opportunity someone else got. But at the end of the day, none of that changes your reality. Complaining doesn't move you forward. Blaming others doesn't improve your situation. The only thing that truly matters is what you do. People respect results, not excuses. No one cares how much you wanted something if you never took action. No one is impressed by how many times you thought about making a change but never followed through. The world measures you by what you produce, by the impact you create, by the discipline you demonstrate when no one is watching. So if you want to be successful, you have to stop explaining why things are hard and start proving that you are capable of pushing through anyway. The problem is most people waste time talking instead of doing. They get caught up in the cycle of complaining about their circumstances, venting their frustrations, and looking for sympathy instead of solutions. But here's the truth. Sympathy doesn't change your life. Feeling bad for yourself doesn't move you closer to your goals. The only way out of your current situation is through action. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have spent improving, learning, and getting better. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do they waste time talking about how hard their journey was? Or do they show up and do the work regardless of the obstacles? They succeed not because things were easy, but because they refused to let difficulty stop them. They understood that the only way to rise above their circumstances was to outwork their excuses. Your success is not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. Everyone faces challenges. Everyone has bad days. Everyone deals with setbacks. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people don't dwell on what went wrong. They focus on what they can control. They ask themselves, what's the next step? Instead of saying, this isn't fair. It's easy to complain. It's easy to blame the economy, your upbringing, your boss, your parents, your lack of resources, but none of those things have the final say in your future. You do. The moment you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility is the moment your life begins to change. The moment you decide that your work will be louder than your words is the moment you start moving toward real success. And let me be clear, this isn't about ignoring your struggles or pretending that things aren't hard. It's about refusing to let those struggles define you. It's about choosing to be the kind of person who takes control instead of waiting for circumstances to change. You may not be able to control everything in your life, but you can always control your effort. You can always control your attitude. You can always control how much work you're willing to put in. When you focus on results instead of excuses, everything shifts. You stop caring about proving your struggles to people and start proving your potential to yourself. You stop wasting time explaining why things are difficult and start figuring out how to overcome them. You stop seeking validation for your pain and start seeking progress for your future. And here's the truth. If you commit to doing the work, people will notice. The same people who doubted you, who ignored you, who didn't believe in you, they will see your results. And by then you won't even need their approval because you'll know for yourself that you were capable all along. Your results will always speak for you. They will tell the story of your discipline, your commitment, your willingness to do what others weren't willing to do. They will be undeniable proof that you didn't just talk about changing your life, you actually did it. So stop explaining. Stop waiting for someone to understand your struggles. Stop hoping people will feel sorry for you. Put your energy into your work. Let your actions do the talking. Let your success be the loudest response to every excuse you could have made. Because at the end of the day, complaints are forgotten, but results are remembered. The power of focused action is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who stay stuck in the same place year after year. Most people think success is about working harder, doing more, and pushing themselves to exhaustion, but that's not the key. The key is working smarter, putting your energy into what actually moves the needle and eliminating distractions that waste your time and steal your potential. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to chase every opportunity. You don't need to be busy all the time. What you need is to be intentional. You need to focus on what truly matters, what actually gets results, and what will move you forward in the fastest and most effective way. Because the truth is, a lot of people work hard, but very few people work smart. Very few people have the discipline to cut out distractions, say no to things that don't serve them, and focus on what will actually change their life. Most people spend their time reacting instead of acting. They wake up, check their phones, scroll through social media, answer emails, and fill their day with tasks that keep them busy, but don't actually make a difference. They confuse movement with progress. But just because you're doing a lot doesn't mean you're getting anywhere. Just because you're working doesn't mean you're working on the right things. If you want real results, you need to focus. That means cutting out the noise. That means stopping the habit of multitasking and starting the habit of deep, uninterrupted work. It means turning off your phone, shutting out distractions, and committing fully to the task in front of you. Because when you focus, you get things done faster. You make better decisions. You produce higher quality work. And let's be honest, most people avoid focus because it's hard. It's easy to jump from task to task, to keep yourself busy with things that don't really matter, to feel like you're making progress when you're actually just running in circles. But if you have big goals, you don't have time for that. If you want to succeed, you need to train yourself to work with intention, to prioritize the most important things, and to eliminate anything that isn't bringing you closer to where you want to be. Discipline is what makes focus possible. You can't rely on motivation to keep you on track, because motivation comes and goes. Some days you'll feel inspired and some days you won't. But if you're disciplined, it won't matter how you feel. You'll show up anyway. You'll do the work anyway. You'll stay locked in on your goals no matter what. And here's something most people don't realize. Focus isn't just about productivity. It's about power. When you focus, you take control of your life. You stop letting distractions dictate your schedule. You stop letting other people's demands pull you away from what matters. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your goals. You step into your power, and that's when real progress happens. Think about the most successful people in the world. They aren't running around trying to do everything at once. They aren't constantly checking their phones, getting distracted by social media, or saying yes to every opportunity that comes their way. They know exactly what matters, and they give it their full attention. That's why they get results. That's why they keep moving forward while everyone else stays stuck. If you want to change your life, you have to start focusing like your future depends on it, because it does. You have to stop giving your time and energy to things that don't serve you. You have to start guarding your focus like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Time is the one thing you can never get back. And every minute you spend on something that doesn't move you forward is a minute wasted. So ask yourself, what are you focusing on? Are you putting your energy into the right things, or are you letting distractions steal your potential? Are you working with intention, or are you just staying busy? Are you taking action on what really matters, or are you spreading yourself too thin? The choice is yours. You can keep doing what everyone else does, multitasking, chasing distractions, wasting time on things that don't matter, or you can choose to focus. You can choose to cut out the noise, eliminate the unnecessary, and put 100% of your energy into what will actually change your life. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. And if you have the discipline to focus, you'll achieve more in a year than most people do in a lifetime. Most people don't understand what real discipline looks like. They think it's about pushing yourself to the limit every single day, grinding endlessly and never taking a break. But discipline isn't about working yourself into exhaustion. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about making decisions that align with your goals, not your emotions. It's about showing up consistently, regardless of how tired, unmotivated, or distracted you feel. The truth is, your feelings are unreliable. One day you'll wake up feeling motivated, ready to take on the world. The next day you'll want to stay in bed and do nothing. That's just how it works. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you'll never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you'll never see real results. That's why discipline is everything. It's what separates the people who succeed from the people who just talk about success. You have to train yourself to take action no matter what. Stop waiting until you feel like it. Stop telling yourself you'll start when you're in the right mood. Stop making decisions based on how you feel in the moment. Instead, commit to the habits, routines, and actions that will get you where you want to be. Whether it's waking up early, going to the gym, studying, working on your business, or any other goal, do it whether you feel like it or not. Because discipline means doing what needs to be done, not what's convenient. Think about the most successful people in any field: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They don't reach the top because they feel like working hard every day. They reach the top because they've built the discipline to work hard whether they feel like it or not. They train when they're tired. They practice when they're uninspired. They show up even when they don't want to. That's why they win. And here's what most people get wrong. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The first time you force yourself to get up early when you don't want to, it's hard. The first time you say no to distractions and stay focused, it's uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Over time, discipline stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like second nature. But if you don't train it, you stay weak. You stay stuck in the cycle of procrastination, inconsistency, and regret. You keep making excuses. You keep waiting for the right moment, and before you know it, months or even years have passed, and you're in the same place you've always been. That's the danger of relying on motivation instead of discipline. It keeps you stuck in a pattern of starting and stopping, getting excited and then quitting, making progress and then backsliding. So if you want to change your life, you need to stop treating discipline like an option. It's not an option, it's a requirement. It's the foundation of success in anything you do. You have to make it a non-negotiable. You have to wake up and decide that no matter how you feel, you're going to show up for yourself. And let's be honest, it won't always be fun. It won't always feel good. Some days you'll want to quit. Some days you'll wonder if it's even worth it. Some days you'll feel frustrated because progress is slower than you expected. But that's exactly when discipline matters the most. Anyone can stay consistent when things are easy, but it's the people who stay consistent when it's hard who actually succeed. So the question is, will you be that person? Will you be the one who pushes through even when it's tough? Will you be the one who keeps going even when no one is watching? Will you be the one who builds the habits, routines, and mindset that creates success not just once, but over and over again? Because the truth is, discipline isn't just about reaching one goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve any goal. When you build discipline, you gain control over your life. You stop letting emotions, excuses, and distractions dictate your actions. You become unstoppable. And once you get to that point, success isn't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Your future is your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to wake you up every morning and push you to chase your dreams. That's on you. The life you want isn't going to magically appear. It's going to be built by the choices you make every single day, by the habits you develop, by the work you put in when no one is watching. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for the perfect time to start. But waiting is a trap. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you put off taking action, the more you convince yourself that you're not ready. And before you know it, years have passed and you're still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to hand you success. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. You have to take responsibility for your future, for your actions, for your growth. You have to stop blaming circumstances, stop making excuses, stop waiting for permission. If you want to change your life, you have to start taking action right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. It's easy to blame other people. It's easy to say, I didn't get the opportunities they got, or I had a harder start, or I don't have the resources. But none of that matters, because there are people who have started with less than you and made it happen. There are people who had every reason to quit but didn't. There are people who faced challenges, setbacks, failures, and still found a way to win. The difference between them and everyone else? They took responsibility. They didn't wait for things to be easy. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They took control of their future and did what needed to be done. You have to make a decision. Are you going to be the person who lets life happen to them? Or are you going to be the person who makes things happen? Because at the end of the day, your future is in your hands. Every decision you make, how you spend your time, what habits you build, how disciplined you are, will determine where you end up. Think about this. Every successful person you admire had moments where they could have quit. Moments where it would have been easier to give up. Moments where no one believed in them. But they pushed through. They kept going. They didn't wait for someone to save them. They became their own savior. That's what you need to do. You need to take control of your life. You need to stop waiting for someone to push you and start pushing yourself. You need to stop waiting for confidence and start building it through action. You need to stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline, because no one is going to give you the life you want. You have to create it. And let's be real, it won't be easy. There will be challenges. There will be moments of doubt. There will be days when you feel like it's not working. But that's part of the process. Growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. Success isn't supposed to be handed to you. If it were easy, everyone would have it. The fact that it's hard is what makes it worth it. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop looking for someone to give you permission to go after what you want. This is your life, your dreams, your responsibility. You are the only person who can make it happen. Start today. Take action now. Because the longer you wait, the further you push your dreams away. And the truth is, no one is going to care about your success as much as you do. No one is going to fight for your future the way you can. So step up, own your future, take full responsibility for your life, and go make it happen. The only competition you need to focus on is the one in the mirror. Too many people waste their energy comparing themselves to others, constantly checking where they stand in relation to their peers, and feeling discouraged when they see someone else winning. But the truth is, comparison is a distraction. It pulls you away from your goals, drains your confidence, and shifts your focus from what really matters, your own progress. You are not here to be better than someone else. You are here to be better than the person you were yesterday. That's the only race that matters. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, you're measuring yourself against a version of their life that you don't fully understand. You don't know the struggles they've faced, the sacrifices they've made, or the obstacles they've overcome. And even if you did, it wouldn't change the fact that your journey is yours alone. What you need to focus on is growth, your growth. Are you stronger, smarter, more disciplined than you were last year? Are you making better decisions, building better habits, and working harder than you did before? That's what counts. The only real measure of success is how much you've improved, how much effort you've put in, and how much closer you are to becoming the person you want to be. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that it's never ending. There will always be someone ahead of you. Someone making more money, someone achieving success faster, someone who seems to have it all together. If you focus on that, you'll never feel good enough. You'll always feel like you're falling behind, like you're not doing enough, like you're not successful enough. And that's a losing game. But if you focus on competing with yourself, everything changes. You stop worrying about what everyone else is doing and start taking full responsibility for your progress. You stop feeling jealous of other people's success and start being inspired by it. You stop wasting time checking where you stand and start putting that energy into your own growth. And let's be real, most of the time, what you see from other people isn't even the full picture. Social media makes it look like everyone else has life figured out, like they're constantly winning, like they never struggle. But that's an illusion. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone has moments of doubt. The difference is, successful people don't let those moments define them. They keep pushing forward no matter what. That's what you need to do. You need to wake up every day with one goal: to be better than you were yesterday, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just one small step forward, because that's how real success is built, not by obsessing over what others are doing, but by staying committed to your own path. So ask yourself, are you improving? Are you putting in the effort? Are you learning, growing, evolving? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. If the answer is no, then it's time to refocus. Stop looking around at what everyone else is doing and start focusing on what you can control. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can stop you from reaching your potential is you, not your competition, not the people around you, not the challenges you face. It all comes down to the decisions you make, the effort you put in, and the mindset you choose to have. So stop comparing. Stop doubting yourself. Stop worrying about what anyone else is doing. Look in the mirror and make a commitment to push yourself, to improve yourself, to become the best version of yourself. Because when you focus on your own growth, success becomes inevitable.